In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. An insightful quote from the legendary strategist Sun Tzu. Yet it is quite coherent with the Stoic philosophy that we will be discussing in a moment. Imagine finding your steady core, your peaceful center, as everything around you spins around you and standing unflinchingly. We're going on this journey together, and that's the strength of Stoicism. Today, we explore the act of silence, a quality that is both frequently underappreciated and extremely powerful. It's important to have a deep sense of quietness rather than only having no noise, a strength that communicates so much without using words. Learning this skill might be your biggest advantage in our chaotic, hectic environment, turning confusion into meaning and cacophony into order. We will uncover how the Stoics harnessed silence not as a void, but as a strategic tool, a path to wisdom and resilience. If you're ready to transform your life with the wisdom of Stoicism, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay with us throughout the whole video to fully understand the impact of silence on your inner strength and clarity. Number 1. When there is silence, the opposition becomes confused. The power of silence is so distinct that it may really frighten those around us, particularly when they're attempting to predict your next action. Imagine yourself in an intense conversation, such as an argument or negotiation, and you decide to remain silent rather than react impulsively or defensively. This is a calculated decision with a strong foundation in Stoic philosophy. It's not about being passive. After all, the Stoics were experts at maintaining equilibrium, not just of their behaviors, but also of their responses. Now consider this. When you don't say anything, the other person is left to speculate, wonder, and have doubts. They're caught off guard and trying to figure out your thoughts and plans while operating in the dark. And that uncertainty is a very useful tool at your disposal. It's true that sometimes silence speaks louder and more powerfully than words ever could. Below is the true beauty of it. You're not simply sitting there, observing, evaluating, and calmly preparing your next move while they're adrift in this sea of confusion. It's about you being in charge. You can reflect, breathe, and approach the problem with the tranquility and clarity that only comes from inside during this purposeful silence. This strategy focuses on embodying the Stoic qualities of wisdom and temperance rather than simply winning the battle. It's about realizing that sometimes giving no reaction at all is the most effective course of action. And in that silence, you're not only confusing your opponent, but also providing yourself with a chance to pay attention. Perhaps more crucially, to what isn't being said than to what is being said. Remember the power of silence the next time you find yourself in a difficult circumstance. Embrace it and use it as a shield and a strategy. Let it represent your inner Stoic person, someone who is unaffected by outside pressure and focused on your inner strength. And keep in mind, Stoicism is about more than simply our words and deeds. It involves our responses, our flexibility, our ability to keep our dignity and determination. Number 2. Eliminate distractions. Distractions are more than simply inconveniences, since they are always linked to the real world. They're obstacles to our clarity and inner serenity. They disperse our concentration and attention, and to be very truthful, they prevent us from really interacting with the deep knowledge that Stoicism gives us. However, this is the point at which Stoic philosophy truly excels. It encourages us to actively change our surroundings, beginning with our thoughts, rather than simply embracing adversity. Consider this. What remains once we remove the clutter, the constant pings, and the never-ending streams of notifications? We're left with space to think, to reflect, to delve deep into the teachings of great Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus, who knew the value of solitude and contemplation. You may be wondering how we go about starting the process of getting free of distractions. Intentionality is where it all begins. It's about choosing carefully what needs to get our attention. This may include setting precise times to check social media or emails, organizing your workstation to be calm, or just accepting the intervals of silence that occur during the day. The objective here is to handle the modern world with purpose and judgment, much like a Stoic would, rather than avoid it. However, it goes beyond simply controlling external disturbance. Eliminating distractions is also about silencing the inner chatter, the doubts, the fears, the endless what-ifs that cloud our judgment and peace. Stoicism offers us tools for this too, urging us to focus on what's within our control and let go of what isn't. Remember that genuine wisdom grows in this state of inner tranquility, where distractions are kept to a minimum. We're enhancing our relationships, our career, and our creativity in addition to our own personal gain. We become more aware of, engaged within, and in tune with the environment around us. This complete surrender to the present is an inheritance, a gift that enables us to live larger, more fulfilling lives. Thus, I encourage you to adopt this austere lifestyle. Begin modestly, perhaps by setting aside a portion of your day to contemplation in silence, away from the allure of technology. Observe how it modifies your interactions, ideas, and decisions, and the difference it creates. This is the path to a more focused, serene, and stoic life. Number 3. Attention is drawn by silence. Have you noticed that when a conversation pauses, everyone listens more intently? It resembles a symphonic pause, the interval between notes that deepens the resonance of the song. This is the power of silence, a concept that Stoicism holds in high regard because it embodies the virtue of restraint and conscious action, or in this case, conscious inaction. When we choose silence, particularly when it seems like everyone is going to start talking, we project an alluring and powerful presence. When someone decides to listen closely without speaking during a contentious argument or busy meeting, their silence speaks volumes. It generates a magnetic pull that stimulates people's interest. What do they think? Why do they not speak? You may quietly exert control and influence over every interaction by keeping this secret to yourself. But let's examine these Stoic concepts in more detail. Stoicism teaches us to value quality over quantity, substance over superficiality. By applying this to our communication, we recognize that our words should be meaningful, chosen with care, not scattered carelessly. When we do speak, our words have greater power because they come from a position of deliberate thinking rather than an impulse. Furthermore, when there is silence, people tend to project their own ideas and feelings onto it, which facilitates increased empathy and understanding. We give them the opportunity to express themselves in silence, and by doing so, we learn about their points of view and motivations. This may be quite effective in interpersonal interactions, the workplace, and even in our own internal conversation. Adopting silence does not imply that we become passive viewers of our own lives. Rather, it is a conscious and active decision. It's about knowing when to speak and when to let silence do the talking. A fundamental Stoic virtue, judgment reflects a profound comprehension of the tempo of human contact and the significance of every word we decide to say or not say. Practically speaking, learning to use silence may improve our lives in a variety of ways. Through essential times of rest, it may diffuse tension, promote stronger bonds, and even improve our mental health. It's a skill, a tool that we can develop and enhance with time, guided by Stoic ideals that support a reasonable, well-balanced way of living. Number 4. Silence builds strength. Adopting silence might seem paradoxical in our fast-paced society, when noise and activity are frequently associated with strength and productivity. But the real sources of our power are found in peaceful times, a notion that is essential to Stoic philosophy. Stoicism fosters in us the characteristics of contemplation and inner peace, which can be developed by solitude. We can better hear our own thoughts, comprehend our feelings, and decide where our will is going when we remove ourselves from the cacophony of the outside world. A place of sanctuary where our thoughts can heal and strengthen is provided by silence, not overpowered or diverted by constant cacophony. Consider silence as a type of mental exercise. A Stoic employs silence methods to strengthen the mind, much like a bodybuilder uses weights to improve their muscles. We develop resilience in this silence by learning to stay with ourselves, face our inner instability head-on without backing down, and come out on the other side more composed and grounded. It's in these moments of solitude that we build the mental fortitude to face whatever life throws at us. Moreover, silence fosters clarity. It allows us to sift through our priorities, to distinguish between what is essential and what is noise. Being able to act with purpose and intention instead of acting on impulse is made possible by this clarity, which is a form of strength. Our choices become more thoughtful, our deeds more significant, and our lives more consistent with our basic principles. But let's explore this further. Being silent goes beyond simply remaining quiet or alone. It involves actively connecting with our inner selves. It involves paying attention to our feelings, ideas, and intuition. We learn something about ourselves in these quiet conversations, discovering our values, motivations, and the core of our convictions. This self-awareness is a potent source of strength, as it gives us the confidence to follow our own decisions, regardless of demands or expectations from others. And this is an interesting thing. The power we develop in silence is not limited to ourselves. It influences our relationships and interactions with others as well. We exhibit confidence and serenity in our interactions with others when we are clear and in control of ourselves. Our words are more significant as they are the result of thoughtful consideration. Our influence grows when we embody the purpose and serenity that Stoicism promotes. Number 5. Freedom from pride or arrogance. In the pursuit of Stoicism, we strive for an understanding that, despite our achievements or status, we are all part of the vast tapestry of existence, interconnected and interdependent. This realization is liberating. It sets us free from the constraints of ego, enabling us to interact with people more authentically. However, what does it mean to be free of ego or arrogance? It does not imply diminishing or undervaluing our value. Instead, it's about acknowledging our advantages and disadvantages with equal calmness and clarity. It's realizing that neither our successes nor our failures define who we are or elevate us above others. This Stoic idea encourages us to live calmly through life's challenges. We should approach both achievements and failures with the same calm composure. It encourages us not to boast about our achievements, but to let our actions speak for themselves. When we do this, we free ourselves from the need for external endorsement or comparison, which leads to the cultivation of inner peace. Furthermore, we become more receptive to development and learning when we practice humility. We develop into better friends, attentive listeners, and caring members of the community. We approach every contact with an open mind, realizing that everyone has something valuable to teach us. In reality, a crucial aspect of Stoicism is regular reflection, which is necessary to break away from pride or arrogance. We examine our reasons, challenge our presumptions, and work to make sure that everything we do is consistent with our core beliefs. We acknowledge our common humanity and the fact that, like everyone else, we are fallible, imperfect, and have limitations. Adopting this Stoic virtue improves our interpersonal connections as well. We make room for more sincere interactions when we let go of the urge to constantly be correct or to be superior. We reply more intelligently, listen more intently, and participate more deeply. We become more relatable, more approachable, and frequently more valued. Number 6. Silence in negotiations. In any negotiation, the words we choose to speak are crucial, but equally important are the moments we choose to remain silent. When silence is used carefully, it may convey a sense of control and tranquility, which frequently causes the other person to give away more information than they had planned. This is a time that drives the negotiation into new conceptual and strategic spheres, encouraging reflection in both of ourselves and those with whom we are interacting. Now, from a Stoic viewpoint, remaining silent during talks has nothing to do with deception or strategy. It's about controlling our inner peace and allowing ourselves the space to behave wisely rather than quickly. When we pause, we're not just buying time, we're asserting our control over the situation, anchoring ourselves in the present, and carefully considering our next move. It's not only about tactical advantage, though. Being silent is a sign of respect for the words that are still unsaid, as well as an understanding of their significance and their effects. We show our counterparts that we are careful and thoughtful when we pause, characteristics that, in every situation, demand respect and focus. Furthermore, the Stoic emphasis on listening is well aligned with this practice of purposeful silence, an equally important skill in negotiations as persuasiveness or eloquence. We may learn about the desires, anxieties, and ambitions of the other person when we listen with genuine attention. This knowledge can help us come up with solutions that respect the interests of all parties involved and provide mutually beneficial results. However, how can we develop this effective instrument of silence? Still a fundamental principle of Stoicism, self-awareness is the first step. Our ability to control our speaking impulses can be enhanced by being aware of our inclinations, habits, and impulses. It also takes courage to let it stand without the unnecessary phrases, faith in the worth of our viewpoint, and strength. In actual discussions, silence might mean a variety of things. After making a major observation, there might be a delay to let its implications settle in. It can be a quiet moment to regroup when discussions become heated or complex, or it can be a space we create for others to fill, providing them the opportunity to disclose, ponder, or concede. Number 7, considering and being kind to others. The Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of all people, the notion that we're all part of the same human community. Not only are we being generous when we are nice and considerate, but we are also acknowledging and honoring this profound bond. In the Stoic definition, kindness is about modest, everyday acts of empathy, the times when we choose understanding over judgment and tolerance over discomfort. It's not about making big gestures or trying to get attention. It's about choosing to encourage rather than to undermine, to assist rather than to condemn, and keeping in mind how our words and deeds affect other people. However, consideration goes a step further. It's about actively putting ourselves in others' shoes, understanding their perspectives, struggles, and aspirations. Genuine concern creates space for meaningful interactions with people, which in turn fosters mutual respect and trust. However, why is this so crucial? Well, by being nice and caring to others, we not only make their life better, but we also develop our own inner contentment and serenity. Stoicism tells us that our behavior and attitudes toward other people are inextricably tied to our own well-being. By making the compassionate decision, we uphold Stoic principles and foster peace both inside and externally. Additionally, using this thoughtful and caring attitude might inspire others to follow the example, building a community that is more sympathetic and understanding. Consider the effect if we all made the decision to behave a bit more kindly and thoughtfully. The result as a whole may be revolutionary. So, how can we live out these values every day? Being attentive of our interactions and the chances we have to be nice and considerate to others is the first step. It involves pausing before reacting, choosing responses that reflect the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. Number 8, the skill of deep listening. In our cacophonous lives where distractions abound and everyone seems to be vying for the last word, truly listening, deeply empathetic listening, is a rare skill. Yet it's a skill that aligns beautifully with the Stoic philosophy, which values understanding, empathy, and the pursuit of wisdom. There is more to deep listening than just hearing what others are saying. It involves connecting with the essence of their message, the feelings and motivations that underlie their statements. It involves listening with the intention of understanding as well as responding. And we discover a strong link between this comprehension and the Stoic principles of empathy and reason. By paying close attention to what other people are saying, we show them the respect and consideration they deserve and acknowledge their true worth as fellow humans. This is Stoic compassion in action. Acknowledging that just like us, others have their own struggles, perspectives, and stories that are worth understanding. However, deep listening has many advantages that go well beyond developing respect and empathy. We allow ourselves to be receptive to new insights and viewpoints when we listen attentively. We improve as problem solvers, friends, and co-workers. we also become better learners. We can take in and analyze more information, which can help us make judgments and behaviors that are more in line with the Stoic virtues of moderation and wisdom. Therefore, how can we practice this skill of careful listening? It all begins with purpose. Always approach a discussion with the idea that you can learn something new. This turns the attention from your personal need to talk to someone else to a sincere interest in what they have to say. Offering someone your whole focus and attention span is a great gift, especially in these days of continuous notifications and multitasking. It involves putting down your phone, shutting off outside noise, and giving the person in front of you your whole attention. Keep in mind that hearing involves more than just your ears. It also involves your eyes, body, and thoughts. It's about demonstrating with everything you have that you genuinely care and that you are there. Additionally, deep listening requires self-control and patience, Stoic qualities which help in overcoming the need to evaluate, interrupt, or construct our answer while the other person is still speaking. It's about giving them space for expression and letting them finish speaking before answering. And lastly, reflection is the topic. After hearing what was said, pause to reflect on what you heard. Think on the underlying meaning, the feelings, and the message. This reflection not only deepens your understanding, but also allows you to respond with thoughtfulness and care, embodying the Stoic ideal of measured, considered action. Number 9, the art of reflective wisdom. This concept isn't just about accumulating knowledge or having quick answers. It's about cultivating a deep, thoughtful understanding of our experiences, our values, and the world around us. The foundation of Stoicism is reflective knowledge, which empowers us to live intentionally, make thoughtful decisions, and develop toward our ideal selves. Thoughtful knowledge starts with self-reflection. This exercise invites us to take a moment to stop, look within, and consider our feelings, ideas, and behaviors. That's not always easy. It requires openness, sensitivity, and willingness to face difficult realities. However, this process is essential. It defines our ideals, helps us recognize our prejudices, and helps us understand our motives. Essentially, it helps us gain a deeper understanding of who we are. But the path to reflected wisdom is not an easy one. We learn from Stoicism that we are a part of the larger world and that other people's lives matter. As a result, our reflection has to take into account our relationships, social responsibility, and global influence. How do our deeds fit into the bigger picture? Are we fostering peace or conflict? This wider viewpoint guarantees that our understanding fulfills a larger purpose for the community rather than merely being self-serving. Let's now discuss how to put this wisdom to use. Not only is reflective wisdom extremely practical, but it is also quite theoretical. It influences our decisions, leads our activities, and shapes our relationships. We make more deliberate judgments, considerate acts, and measured words when we engage from a position of reflective wisdom. We develop greater fortitude in the face of difficulty, composure under pressure, and adaptability in the face of change. These characteristics define a Stoic, someone who handles life's ups and downs with patience and composure. However, how can we develop this reflective wisdom? Making time on a regular basis for contemplation is the first step. This may be keeping a daily journal, reflecting on your choices and behaviors, or having meaningful conversations with people. It's about asking hard questions and being open to wherever the answers might lead. It's about taking into consideration the future, living in the now, and extracting lessons from the past. Adopting a learner's perspective is an additional crucial element. Every event, no matter how happy, sad, or routine, teaches us something valuable about life, which is our best teacher. We may learn important lessons from every aspect of our lives by taking up an attitude of openness and inquiry, which will help us mature and develop wisdom. Number 10, resilience and adversity. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain or denying our struggles. Instead, it's about confronting adversity head-on, learning from it, and emerging stronger and wiser on the other side. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. True resilience is forged by this reaction, which is based on virtue, reason, and clarity. However, how can we develop this resilience? It begins with acceptance first. Reality should be accepted as it is, not as we would like it to be, according to Stoicism. This entails accepting our challenges without passing judgment or feeling sorry for ourselves. We save our energy for what really counts, our reaction and development, when we confront our problems head-on. Next, we utilize perspective's power. The Stoics believe that our understandings of what happens are more distressing than the actual circumstances. We might perceive our struggles as a part of a greater story by taking on a wider viewpoint, one that promises development, education, and the possibility of transformation. This viewpoint sets our suffering in a structure that encourages resilience rather than lessening it. Let's now discuss how communities contribute to the development of resilience. Stoicism acknowledges how interconnected we are, while emphasizing individual virtue and inner strength. It is in the company of people that we develop and overcome, not in alone, exchanging experiences, providing assistance, and learning from those who have gone through similar hardships. These relationships strengthen our fortitude by serving as a constant reminder that we are not traveling alone. Furthermore, practice fosters resilience. As we confront and overcome obstacles, our ability to be resilient increases, just like a muscle does with exercise. Then, every challenge turns into a chance for us to put our Stoic principles into practice, behave bravely, maintain our cool, and make a decision that is consistent with our values. Finding our inner strength and using it to meet life's inevitable obstacles is what resilience is all about. It's about utilizing hardship as a springboard for development, change, and a more profound comprehension of our morals and principles. Above all, it's about going ahead with the strength and knowledge we've acquired from our experiences. As we come to the end of our exploration of Stoic philosophy today, keep in mind that you already possess the power you want to achieve. It's within you, waiting to be harnessed through the power of reflection, resilience, and profound wisdom. Thank you for joining me on this path of discovery and growth. You're not just viewers, you're an essential part of the Stoic Mindset community, united in our quest for understanding and virtue. Now don't let your exploration end here. Click on one of the suggested videos on the screen to continue your journey into Stoicism, deepening your knowledge and fortifying your spirit. Together, we're not just learning, we're transforming. Give this video a thumbs up and share it to someone you think may find it useful. Please remember to click the subscribe button if you haven't already.